What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unrestricted. My name is Peter. I am your host, and today there's a wild story update about John Barnett's case. If you haven't seen my previous video, I will summarize some of it, but I definitely recommend watching the entire video. In the previous video, I mentioned there was a former quality manager for Boeing who was found dead in his truck with a gun in his hand, right in a hotel parking lot in Charleston, South Carolina. Just literally in the middle of a deposition. It is imperative to say that depositions and court dates and court deadlines normally don't go through weekends, unless it's like a life or death situation. No pun intended. In this case, for some reason, if you recall, he was testifying against Boeing, claiming some serious safety issues with Boeing's planes. Now, here's where it gets really fishy. The police said it was a self-inflicted wound, but Barnett was right in the middle of a deposition for his whistleblower case against Boeing. He was all fired up, looking forward to wrapping up this phase of his life and moving on. He was trying to help as many people as possible try to uncover the corruption and, most importantly, save many lives by making us very aware of the battle that ensued for years between him and Boeing. It's honestly, if you look at it from a different angle, it is not a Barnett versus Boeing case. It is the people versus Boeing case, because it affects us all. We all travel, most of us take planes, and most importantly, most of these planes are Boeing. His lawyers are all baffled. They saw no signs of him being suicidal. There was also a note found in the truck, but nobody's spilling the beans on what's said yet. Plus, a hotel staff member heard a pop sound around the time Barnett was presumed to be in his truck. The whole thing just got a lot of folks scratching their heads. Boeing 737 and 787 Dreamliner models were like a ticking time bomb. And he did inform us that all Boeings are bad, but those two particular models adopted the new kind of reckless quality. Watch the other video that I'm going to link it in the description for more details. It is definitely suspicious, especially if his best family friend said he wasn't suicidal. Barnett even mentioned a foul play if he suddenly died. It raises questions about whether was it his pistol, someone else's pistol, was he traveling with his own pistol? Maybe we're gonna find out that it's actually not his pistol after all, which would make even more sense. On the day of the incident, front desk confirmed that he had already packed all his luggage, but he wasn't found in the room. And when his lawyers asked the front desk to go check in the parking lot, they found his Clemson orange Ram truck. And then inside the truck, they called the EMT immediately. John was laying in the driver's seat dead. Still, his finger is on a trigger of what they call a silver pistol. It raises questions about his pistol or not. Are there surveillance? Are there cameras anywhere? Usually all hotels have some kind of surveillance cameras. There's traffic cameras, there's satellite cameras, you name it. I hope they actually use that technology for once to help the public instead of just actually serving their own purpose only as a government, which is not serving the people. It also raises questions about what's going on behind scenes with Boeing's and their lawyers.
I know that he did not commit suicide. There's no way.
First tonight, our investigative reporter Ann Emerson has new information in the death of Boeing whistleblower John Barnett. A close family friend of Barnett says he predicted he might wind up dead, that a story could surface that he killed himself. But he told her, don't believe it. Ann?
Tessa, Barnett's family friend Jennifer said they had talked about this exact scenario playing out, but his words seemed like a premonition. He told her, don't ever believe it.
If they asked for an extension, especially on a Saturday, were they luring up for something more? As for the court, it's hard to say if they intentionally or unintentionally put John in harm's way. But with all these pieces, it sure makes you wonder if there's more to the story than meets the eye. What do y'all think? And hey, if you want to stay updated on this and more, ring the notifications bell and like this video. Thank you all for watching. Stay vigilant. Stay safe.
I knew John because his mom and my mom are best friends. And so over the years, get-togethers, birthdays, celebrations, and, whatnot, we've all got together and talked. And, That's how we really know each other.
And when Jennifer needed help one day, Barnett came by to see her. They talked about his upcoming depositions in Charleston. Jennifer knew he filed an extremely damaging complaint against Boeing. He says the aerospace giant retaliated against him when he blew the whistle on unsafe practices. For more than 30 years, Barnett was a quality manager. He'd recently retired and moved back to look after his mom in Louisiana.
He wasn't concerned about safety because I asked him, I said, aren't you scared? And he said, and his voice and the way he would talk, no, I ain't scared. He said, but if anything happens to me, it's not suicide. You know, I know that he did not commit suicide. There's no way. He loved life too much. He loved his family too much. He loved his brothers too much to put them through what they're going through right now.
And he basically told you not to believe it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Not true. He's got too much to do, likes breathing. And he did. He had a lot of plans of things that he wanted to do.
What do you think happened?
I think somebody got in there and made, money can buy anything nowadays, it seems like. And there's a lot of evil in this world. I think somebody didn't like what he had to say and wanted to shut him up and didn't want it to come back on anyone. So that's why they made it look like a suicide.